Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft video every weekday. And today, with one day left until Marvel Superheroes drops, I'm so excited to play one of my favorite draft formats of all time, Bloomburrow. Now, I know that is not a popular opinion among people who draft a lot. This set is not universally loved. But there's a very specific reason that I love Bloomburrow, which is the reputation of this format is that it is extremely fast and you have to be ridiculously low to the ground, play to the board, prioritizing 1 drops, 2 drops, and stats above absolutely everything else. However, people went to such an extreme with this that they overlooked the game pieces that let you do absolutely ludicrous stuff. And especially in quick draft, the Sultai space gives you the opportunity to scoop up massive amounts of card power. If you know how to construct a deck in such a way that you will not get run over by the white-based aggro decks, then you can get away with some really egregious stuff, and that is exactly what I am hoping to do today. All right, so pack 1, pick 1. I have a very strong preference to end up in Sultai, or at least some kind of green splash, and because this is quick draft and the bots were trained on people who were not really very high on that, it's not really forcing in the same way that we usually talk about in draft. So I'm looking at 2 different cards here. One is, well, I guess either Fabled Passage or Hidden Grotto, whichever one we think is a better land for splashing. The other would be Feed the Cycle, which is just a fantastic spot removal piece. Spot removal in Bloomburrow needs to be about 2 mana for it to be worthwhile, because once you get to 3, 4 mana and so on, you're usually trading down on mana against the thing that you're killing. But here, honestly, I think I'm just going to start setting up my splash. I usually have no trouble hitting playables. And by the way, the infamous Cruel Claw is not particularly good, so we're not passing up a lot in that rare. I usually have no trouble making playables in quick draft Bloomburrow. So just getting a premium dual land, a premium fetch land actually seems useful. Okay, now there is one card that makes this archetype work more than any other common, at least, and that is 3-Tree Rootweaver, or as I call it, Rooty Tooty. The thing is, if you want to get splashy in Bloomburrow, you're going to use green as a base, and you need to be playing to the board all of the time. What Rooty Tooty gives you is splashing into any color, so it's the rare piece of splashing, even unlike Fabled Passage, where you do not have to pre-commit to the color that it's going to splash you into. It is also a 2-drop with 3 toughness, which means that you're going to not die while you ramp into your really big cards. So Rooty Tooty is the key to 5-color control in Bloomburrow. You heard it here first. My favorite card in the entire format, easily. And holy smokes, everybody, this is the greatest draft of Bloomburrow ever, because we have been past 2 consecutive Rooty Tooties after starting off with a Fabled Passage. I could not ask for a better start. There's also a Dazzling Denial, which I like. Apparently blue-red is super underdrafted by the bots as well, but it actually was the worst archetype, so it's underdrafted to the point that it maybe gets pretty good, but if I can be Sultai, I'm just going to prefer that, definitely. Longstock Brawl is a pretty nice removal spell as well. With double Rooty Tooty, we're going to be looking to, let's say, wheel things like Mind Spiral. I've last picked Dazzling Denial against the robots in Quick Draft before, so I'm going to snap up this Rooty Tooty, and now we get to cheat on our curve a little bit. Here, so I actually don't hate Feather of Flight, but you can totally get blown out with this card by having your creature removed when you target it. I think I'm actually just going to take Hidden Grotto. I like it a lot better than the Fountainport Bell as fixing, and nothing else here is really playable. Bumble Flowers Sharepot, in addition to being impossible to cast, impossible to pronounce, is also, it's very easy to cast, but impossible to pronounce. It's very hard to activate, though, the 5-mana ability. So it's very much on the borderline begrudgingly playable. Same thing I would say with Thistledown players, and everything else I would just not be looking to put into a deck, pretty much, period. So let's take another land, and our splash is absolutely online. So the robots don't know that Stocking the Pantry was a really, really good build around in this format. Well, I don't know about really good, but it was a very functional build around in the format. So you can force this deck if that's your thing, but you really need to see the pieces to make it worthwhile. With the second Stormcatch Mentor, maybe we were supposed to be otters, but if I'm past 2 Rooty Tooties in the first 3 picks, then I'm not going to deviate from that plan. I'm just going to snap up a Dazzling Denial here, and we are going to really hope that some big, good cards are available for us, because now it does look like green is kind of getting cut. So that is the thing, like sometimes the bots will decide to go like squirrels or something, and if that happens immediately to your right, you might not be able to get your green splashing plan online. However, Daring Wave Rider is a fantastic card to ramp into with the Rootweaver. You can try to like cast a 4-mana spell a little bit ahead of curve, and then play your Daring Wave Rider and get that 4-mana spell back when this one enters. So that is a really nice piece. I wouldn't hate long reverse pull. Nothing else here that I would really be interested in playing. Oh, okay. All right. We are in business. So there's a bunch to do here. Pawn Profit is truly phenomenal. So, I mean, Pawn Profit is like a key that unlocks one of the best synergy deck in the format. There's also a Tree Guard duo, which is a fantastic payoff for that same deck. And then I could also invest in an Eddie Merc Crab. I think what I'm going to do is take the Pawn Profit because 7 mana in Bloomburrow is such a replaceable slot, and you really need as many 2-drops as you can possibly get. If I get enough cards like Pawn Profit online, I mean, I'm always going to have mana sinks, and I can just get a ridiculous synergy deck if I can manage to get some of the Flickering Frog cards. Okay, tough choice. I mean, I love Rudy Tooty, and honestly, I think I'm just going to snap it up here. Now I get to play whatever colors I want. I will not take pretty much any 3-drops unless it is a premium 3-drop at this point. So the goal of this deck is going to be to skip turn 3. I will say there's a good argument for Polywallop and maybe a slightly less good argument for Bellowing Crier. One part of the argument for Bellowing Crier might be that the artist who made it is the same artist who drew Bouncing Beebles, my favorite card of all time. But having said that, I think I will just snap up the 3-tree Rootweaver. We would be happy to take really any other card in this pack except the Herbalist, which sucks. But I wouldn't even hate having a Spark Shooter on the splash. It's just a good 4-drop, and I don't really care about colors of my 4-drops at this point. But yeah, I'm just going to take a Rudy Tooty. There's a reason that Rudy Tooty is, in my humble opinion, the best card in this format. So, okay, I'll take a Hidden Grotto. Probably. I guess it does start making my mana actually worse at this point. There's definitely an argument for a Seed Pod Squire because I really want a stacked 4-drop slot. But I think, you know, Seed Pod Squire is hardly the most powerful card in the set. Maybe here. So Wildfire Howl is terrible. Sassacap's Brew, there is an outside argument for it as kind of card, not even advantage, just card selection. But I think I'll take the Bark Farm Harvester. Mindful Assailant is right. These are all just bad cards. There's really not that much to do here. Wow, and we're last picking Stormcatch Mentor. I mean, I'm not going to switch into Otters though. I have triple Rudy Tooty. What more do I want? I think I'll take the Mind Spiral. This card actually is surprisingly good for a 5-mana sorcery in the fastest format ever printed, probably. So I think I will take this. I mean, it speed bumps a creature, gets you card advantage. It's really nice if you can do it on like turn 4. I don't think we're in the market for Peerless Recycling, so maybe we want the Food Maker, probably, / very slow removal. Yeah, Frilled Spark Shooter. I don't actually hate it. You can go Teamer. And here we get one of the best rares in the entire format, Innkeeper's Talent. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a +1 counter on a creature. Permanents you control with counters on them have ward 1. And then when you level it up to level 3, if you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, you double the number of counters. So for example, it also doubles the stun counters that you would put on with Mind Spiral because it's any kind of counter. What are we looking to wheel here? We did not wheel Dazzling Denial, by the way, I guess. Plume-Creed Escort's really good. I highly doubt that that's going to wheel. Maybe we could get a 3-tree Mascot back. It's like Rudy Tooty's much worse younger brother. I'm just going to take the Innkeeper's Talent. We really want to start playing to the board as much as possible. I'm in the market for green stats, which Tree Guard Duo does provide. I guess I could go more Teamer and take the Quake Tusk Boar. That doesn't sound so great to me. I think I want Tree Guard Duo over Splash Portal. Splash Portal goes really well with Pawn Profit, but pretty much nothing else that I have here. And I really want a stacked 4-drop slot. If I can get back Light Shell Duo, I would be really happy with that. Okay, and here we have another good 2-drop and then another good 2-drop. So I'm between the good 2-drops, which is usually the place to be in Bloomburrow. I think I'm probably more likely a Baker's Bane Duo deck than I am a 3-tree Scribe deck. Baker's Bane Duo is probably going to be a 3-3 enough of the time that it's worth taking over the card that is usually going to be a 2-3. I guess, I don't know, maybe we could wheel that Splash Portal, but I don't know that I'm going to have I don't know that I'm going to be in like the Frogs deck that gets to activate 3-tree Scribe all the time. I think with 0 enablers for 3-tree Scribe, I'd rather just take the Baker's Bane Duo. This is a very good card. Okay, what are we looking at here? So there's another Mind Spiral. There's also a Long Stalk Brawl, which sounds like probably what I should take. There's also Agate Assault. I guess I'm seeing a lot of evidence that red is open, but I have a pretty strong preference to be blue-green at this point over being blue-red, also because I have been seeing some blue signals. So, okay, I think I'll just take the Longstalk Brawl over Mind Spiral, but we really do need to prioritize creatures from here on out, because if you don't have creatures, Innkeeper's Talent, Longstock Brawl, you know, a bunch of these cards just become blank. Here, I think I will take Rush-Shield Rampager. Oh, by the way, another reason to take Longstock Brawl is because Daring Wave Rider needs enough instants and sorceries that are below mana value 5. So here, I will definitely just take a Rush-Shield Rampager. It's a perfectly responsible 4-drop. We could have had Stocking the Pantry and then some, but basically we're fulfilling our mission to try to take essentially no 3-drops. I'm very happy to see a Daring Wave Rider here. Fantastic value card. A great payoff for the ramp plan. I guess I could take a Quake Tusk Boar, but I really don't think that I'm going to be green-red. I think I'm much more likely to be green-blue. I don't think I need Fountain Port Bell, so let's just take Head of the Homestead. And basically, we're just trying to smooth out and always go like 2 into 4, 5, 6. All right, here, I guess I could take probably 3-Tree Mascot, maybe Elenia's Pathfinder. Maybe I'm being a little bit too belligerent in not following these red signals. I just really do not prefer to give up on my Wave Riders, Dazzling Denial, and so on in order to lean back red. And I don't really want Elenia's Pathmaker on the splash. So let's just make our ability to splash that much better. Take another 3-Tree Mascot. Now our 2-drop slot is very full, although we are accepting a lot of bad 2-drops in exchange for the flexibility of splashing. So what that means is that at the beginning of pack 3, and here I'll definitely just take Splash Portal. Actually, Early Winter would not be the worst pick. Lightshell Duo also is a very nice 4-drop, but I think I just want the Splash Portal to go with my double Daring Wave Riders and cards with good ETBs like Head of the Household, even Baker's Bane Duo, and especially Pawn Prophet. And in the worst case, I can even cast it on 3-Tree Mascot just to cycle it and draw a card. Anyways, in pack 3, maybe here I just take Shore Up. I really want to capitalize on all of the investments that I've made in splashing and basically just take good bombs in whatever colors they appear. So, okay, very interesting. It would be Salvation Swan, except there's also Galewind Moose, except there's also Lily Splash Mentor, and this is just the card. I mean, it can flicker Tree Guard Duo to push damage. It can flicker Head of the Homestead to make a billion 1/1s. It can flicker Daring Wave Rider to get all of your good instants and sorceries recast. It can flicker Pawn Prophet to keep drawing cards. So as much as I want Galewind Moose and Salvation Swan, honestly, and Dire Downdraft, and Long River's Pool sounds fine, and Baker's Bane Duo as well, Lily Splash Mentor is the card. And note that this is a massive mana sink, so it actually does go with the Rudy Tooty plan. That's part of why Rudy Tooty is good. Because one of the main payoffs in the color pair that you hope to be in when you start taking Rudy Tooties is a massive mana sink. Here, I'm just going to take another Dazzling Denial. I could take Baker's Bane Duo, but having a bunch of Rudy Tooties makes it easier for me to hold up extra mana. So I think I'm happy to just snap that one up here. Now here we find a Galewind Moose, which is a very nice find. I think I'll take that over Pawn Prophet at this point, even though Pawn Prophet is at the exact part in the curve that you really want to invest in, and also is fantastically synergistic with Lily Splash Mentor and Splash Portal. Nevertheless, I just think it's the moose here. I think I need ways to stabilize and win games, and the 1/1 for 2 doesn't always get there. Now, this is very interesting. I could take another Rudy Tooty and go down to almost maybe even 15 lanes at this point. But I think I'm just going to snap up Overprotect. This is a truly fantastic combat trick. Really good at just keeping a person alive. And I think I can cut Shore Up. Actually, I'll cut the Bumble Flowers Share pot. And here, actually, I might just take Savor. I have all of the splashing that I need for that without even including a Swamp in my deck. Probably rather have that than Splash Portal. Then Splash Portal number 2 when I only have 1 Pawn Prophet. And Scales of Shale is pretty nice as well, but I mean, I think it's just going to be Savor. Now we have Gossip's Talent. I think Bellowing Crier could be good. Goes okay with Lily Splash Mentor. And there's also an Early Winter, which I don't hate. But with double Mind Spiral, yeah, I think I'd rather just invest in the Bellowing Crier here. Probably I would take that and cut 3-Tree Mascot. I don't think there's much need for that. Now I can probably take, actually, maybe I just take Junkblade Bruiser at this point over the 3-Tree Scribe. We want to essentially always have really big creatures coming down. So I'll snap that one up. Oh, Mind Whisker is a wonderful little reward. I said I really don't want 3-drops, but this is the 3-drop that you want. What would I cut for the Mind Whisker? Could be I just don't need that other 3-Tree Mascot, actually. Now here I could take Long River's Pull, a card that I mentioned that I would not mind wheeling, but I would definitely rather play both Dazzling Denials over this one. And I'm currently actually at 24 cards, which is probably where I want to be. I think with triple Rudy Tooty, I probably want to be on 16 lands, I'm guessing. That sounds reasonable. Now my curve is a little questionable, but I think it's still pretty good. Oh, I actually will play Sunshower Druid. I'm not exactly sure. So now I have to make, yeah, probably one cut. Probably I cut like Junkblade Bruiser or something like that. I have enough different combinations of mana that I'm not too worried about needing your exactly, you know, descending number of cards by curve. I'm a little bit chunky in the 5-drop slot. Actually, what if we cut one Mind Spiral? You really don't want 2 Mind Spirals in this format, I think. So what if we cut a Mind Spiral and put in the Junkblade Bruiser again? It's a little unfortunate that we didn't see tons of bombs in other colors that our Rudy Tooty investments would reward us for. But I think we can just cut this swamp. We have 7, 8, essentially 9, 10 potential green sources. We have 6, 7, essentially 8, 9 potential blue sources, and then we're playing one black card, which we can get with either the Rudy Tooties or the Hidden Grotto, and we have like at least one way of discarding it if we need to. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this deck. Not the best Simic Splashy deck that I've built in Bloomburrow ever, but I think it'll be a fun one. I think we'll have some fun. We might not stay in the Mythic top 1000 for that long, but that's okay. We're here to have fun. I definitely think that I was cut on green, by the way. All right, whoa, how did I go up to Mythic 546 in the last few seconds? That was strange. Okay. All right, I'll keep this one, definitely. All right, probably open with Hidden Grotto. The way that I get punished for opening with Hidden Grotto is if I draw Pawn Profit. Rudy Tooty, you say? Yeah, that's a good... Considering that I built my entire deck around playing that guy on 2, I think that's a good 2-drop. If they don't play anything, so they're now representing Long River's pull, let's just give them a Baker's Bane duo to counter, I think, because I don't really want anything else here to get countered. The other option, well, I could have played the island and held up my Dazzling Denial, but let's just let them Long Rivers pull the Baker's Bane duo. I do not care about this Baker's Bane duo, and I would much rather... Oh, Dazzling Denial, so there was no reason to play that second blue. They might actually just be mana screwed. Yeah, this looks like a potential mana screw situation. So basically, I do not want any other creature that I have here to get countered. Much rather have the Baker's Bane duo countered than anything else. And if they're holding up counters, there's no reason to think that they're going to play something. I could probably just have Mind Spiral here, right? Because I'm about to be on 5 mana. That sounds kind of good. So they might just hold up their counter if I don't do anything, so might as well do something. All right, so they did find their other color. They weren't able to play it last turn because I had to play a land first to play Pearls of Wisdom and find it, presumably. All right, if they hold up 2, okay, they did not. So they're not representing another Dazzling Denial or that Long River's pull. So then here, I'm definitely just going to go Junkblade Bruiser. I would also love to get something in my graveyard that Daring Wave Rider. Whoa, a whole 3rd color. Okay. So this is not the aggro deck that I was worried I might be facing. Yeah, I would love to get something in my graveyard that the Long River Lurker can bring back. They only have priority because they can pop the Fountain Port Bell. I mean, they may also have Shore Up, I guess. But there's no reason to believe that. All right, and then here, I mean, they could have removal for Junkblade Bruiser, but now our ramp plan is definitely putting us in the driver's seat. If they don't do anything, I'll attack with the Junkblade Bruiser first and not get greedy with my expend. Highlighting all of my lands. I don't think there's land destruction. Pretty sure. I can't think of any land destruction here. All right. What'll it be? Gemini. Interesting to have Life Creed Duo in the 3-color deck that has so many non-creature spells. Because this is definitely more of an aggro card. I wonder if they're doing some kind of 3-color flying strategy. That's a little painful. All right, let's go in with the Bruiser, see what their plan is. Oh, Eddie Merc Crab. Okay, well, let's Dazzling Denial that, even though this kind of speed bumps me. I feel like this is probably a better plan. Don't really want the Crab to resolve. In for 2. Yeah, this definitely speed bumps me, but we both just kind of skipped turn 5 as a result of that. So it's not like I'm at a disadvantage because of it. I guess I could have Mind Spiraled and stunned their Crab, but that doesn't sound like the best plan. Note that Daring Wave Rider does not go with Dazzling Denial at all. Oh, hey, Dazzling Denial, it's actually denying the Eddie Merc Crab, isn't it? I never noticed that before. That's so cool. Flavor win. Flavor victory to me. Unlimited Splash. All right. in with the duo for one. And then maybe they have another crab. But my moose has a thing or two to say about that, if I can get another land under me. I would like them to just play a big creature, because then I could Mind Spiral stunning it and attack. Or if I draw another land, I could play the Rush Shield Rampager with Offspring. Could be good. Plume-Creed Mentor. I don't know. I said I wanted them to invest in a creature, but that's kind of leaving me a little sad. So I can play around another Dazzling Denial. I don't really care to cast Mind Spiral here. So I could play around another Dazzling Denial by not Offspringing my Rush Shield Rampager. That's probably for the best. I don't think that 1/1 is necessarily worth so much. Having said that, if I bait Dazzling Denial here, it's going to make my life a lot easier in the future. They do have birds, so even if I have 2 mana up, they actually could counter my Rush Shield Rampager, because Dazzling Denial actually counters unless I pay 4 if you have a bird. So okay, I'm going to cast Rush Shield Rampager with... I'm going to cast Rush Shield Rampager with Offspring. I think I go for a green, because I'd rather be able to play the moose. So play this with Offspring to get my expend, and if they have Dazzling Denial, that's a Dazzling Denial that will not be hitting Mind Spiral or Galewind Moose, so I don't hate it. Okay, well, that's also good for me. There is the 1-mana bounce spell that they could have. Not sure what else. I don't think there's that much else that they could have here. 1-mana bounce spell, yeah. And the 1-mana bounce spell would leave me effectively up a card. To some extent, I guess this is a game about tempo. Oh, hi, Castrol. Okay, so what is this? When 1 or more birds you control deals combat damage to a player. Put a bird from your hand or graveyard in with a finality counter on it, or put a +1/+1 counter on each bird you control. Yeah, so they can get their birds really big. But I can crack in for almost lethal next turn, right? 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. Looks like I can get in for lethal next turn. If Mind Spiral resolves, which I think it does. They played a land already this turn, I think. I'm pretty sure. Oh, do they have... There's a way for them to untap a creature. Is that true? I'm actually going to look something up before we go to my turn. Does the 1 blue spell in this set untap a creature? It's been a while. I love this set. I've played a lot of it, but it's been a while since I played it. So Shore Up, untap a creature. Yeah. Okay, so we have 2 different options. One is to play Mind Spiral. I would not necessarily get to stun Castrol if I did that. So play Mind Spiral, attempt to stun Castrol. They could give it +1 and untap it. And then I don't get to attack with anything, which kind of sounds bad. The other option is hold up Galewind Moose and surprise them when they attack. I think I just go for lethal. So this would be 6. Yeah, this would be lethal. I think I just go for lethal. They specifically need to have Shore Up to get me here. And I think let's go colorless, colorless, in case we draw like Pawn Profit. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they need to have Shore Up. If they have Shore Up, then this was not the right move. Okay, they have Shore Up. Well, we knew what we were playing around. Splash Portal's interesting. Oh, Innkeeper's Talent's actually probably good, right? That's probably pretty good. So this means I still get to attack with Junkblade Bruiser. It's possible that I just die now, though, right? 6, 9, 10, 11. It's possible that I just die. So that would suck. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, they need to do 4 more damage. 5, 8, 9, 10. They need to do more than 4 more damage. Do they have a bird in their graveyard? No. Yeah, I mean, I could have held on to Galewind Moose. If I'd held on to Galewind Moose, they would still have the Shore Up. I would not have played Innkeeper's Talent. But if they have a counter, it's so bad. If they actually do have that long reverse pull that it looks like they were representing, that I think they weren't actually, then that would be really bad. Okay, they're playing conservatively, so I don't think I'm dead here. That is the good news. The good news is I might not just be dead here. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I played it wrong. Very possible. Wouldn't be the first time that I played something wrong, I'll tell you that much. Okay, Mind Whisker, but you do not have Threshold. That's the good news. Okay. Wow, Splash Portal looking so bad here. Okay, so basically... Basically, my analysis is the following. I'm not dead to attacks on the ground. I think I do keep back the 1/1 and the 3-tree Root Weaver. But I can put a counter on Rush Shield Rampager and attack with both that and Junkblade Bruiser. They have to block one of them. Then I'm holding up Galewind Moose, and we'll see. Basically, if they have a counter spell for Galewind Moose, then I'm toast. And that's true no matter what my attacks are. I can't like force them to block with enough creatures that stops being true. I may even have to chump here, which is like pretty sad. And if I leveled up the Innkeeper's talent, they still could have just chumped one. Like they still only had to block one creature basically. I guess I could have played the Galewind Moose. Okay, well now I cast Galewind Moose and see if it gets my Bruiser to lethal. We shall see. They do not have long reverse pull mana. But they could have bounce target creature. But then they can't use that to also bounce my Moose on offense. Repel Calamity. Okay. I'll kill the Plume Creed. All right, and then... So Mind Whisker goes active, which is, I guess, vaguely annoying. There's nothing to Splash Portal, unfortunately. So then, yeah, I guess let's level up the Innkeeper's talent. I don't think so. I think I want to be able to block with 3-tree Root Weaver. Yeah, this is a little unfortunate, and they get to Servile. Well, I'm not officially dead, but I feel pretty dead. This thing does have Trample. Oh, Banishing Light. Am I dead? Not literally dead, but very close to it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I'm literally dead. Well, okay. I mean, you know, they had lots of optionality in that game. So I guess playing the Moose instead of the Mind Spiral was the right move. In the end. Now that we know how everything turned out, I knew about Shore Up. I knew that they specifically needed that one card in the whole set, and they had it. And sometimes they have it. Okay, so maybe I cut Mind Spiral for Shore Up. Shore Up felt pretty good there. And maybe I cut Splash Portal and put the Mind Spiral back in. Because Splash Portal was like... I think I didn't actually count how many cards in my deck have the relevant creature types. Actually, no. What happened is I counted and then I cut a bunch of Changelings. But that's on me. So actually, if that Splash Portal had been Shore Up, I think I would have won. Because I could have afforded it. Well, I don't know if I would have won. Yeah, I probably... I think I would have, because I would have been able to save the Junkblade Bruiser. Anyways, close game. All right, a bit of an awkward one, but I can definitely keep it. I don't know, maybe I went a little bit too heavy on these hidden grottos here. Everyone is splashing today. Yeah, I will say my take on Bloomburrow was forged in the context of everyone else thinking it's a ridiculously fast format. I think, actually, do I just want that? I think I probably just want a forest to not be speed bumping myself here forever. And so with everyone splashing around, it definitely does kind of make me a little bit worse off. Because the whole edge that I used to get was from knowing how to build against the hyper-aggressive decks. Probably just pitch Daring Wave Rider. I don't know. I also have more islands than I could ever use. So maybe I just lose the island here. Kind of seems right, actually. Okay, so this thing, discard a card, draw a card. Oh, it's 3 colors. My goodness. Yeah, I'll certainly block that. Very happy to block that. They might have like something that if an opponent lost life does something. Okay. So maybe I actually go for the Hidden Grotto to get a little bit of control over what I draw. Dazzling Denial. No, I don't have mana to spare for that kind of stuff. Play the Root Weaver. Technically, I could have taken it and next turn held up, like played something. No, I would have to play something for 3 to hold that up. Yeah, wow. I'm getting in a lot of trouble this draft. This is a little bit too bad. Okay, well now I get my forest at least. I'll go for the forest. Then I will buff this by 2 and attack with a 3/5. Yeah, I just need to, like, for example, Lily Splash Mentor plus Tree Guard Duo is an awesome combination. I just need to keep these things alive, if at all possible, and just get as many creatures on the board as I can. I don't know, Daring Wave Rider looking horrible in my deck, isn't it? Kind of thought I had enough. Yeah, I think I just have to trade. I kind of thought I had enough spells to make it worthwhile. Okay, I guess that's technically one. Yeah, could play Lily Splash Mentor holding up Overprotect. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Now we're going to see why Overprotect is so good. All right, what'll it be? Now, if they play... Okay, they would have had access to 5 mana Exile last turn. All right, good thing I have a Hexproof trick. All right, give it Hexproof. That fizzles. Yeah, so they would have had it last turn, but they were doing other things with their time, I guess. All right, so I can play Innkeeper's Talent and not quite level it all the way up. So awkward. Play Innkeeper's Talent. Level it up once and then flicker 3 Tree Root Weaver. Is that a good move? Could be. Could be. Level it up once. Play the land. Then I have exactly enough mana to flicker the Root Weaver and then put another counter on it. I actually kind of want to put the counter on Lily Splash Mentor. Now everything has a ward. I'm going to not attack here. I don't really want that trade, I don't think. Daring Wave Rider is still looking very awkward. Oh, my guy has reach, but that thing has Death Touch. Okay. Well, I mean, my creatures are... It's very possible that my creatures die anyways. So, +1/+1 and trample. I mean, I cannot be taking extra damage here. But the thing about Roughshod Duo is the moment that they spend an extra mana, it is going to get buffed to 4 power, 3 toughness. So I think let's block like this. Okay, what are they representing? 3 mana? I mean, it could be like anything. There's like deal 1, draw card. There's deal 3 damage. There's deal 4 damage. Right? There's Overprotect. There's destroy target creature. So I think let's just do it like this. If at all possible for them, they're going to want to kill my Lily Splash Mentor, not just because it's bigger, but also because it can block the Harbinger. Okay, there you go. Oh, they get to target Heartfire Hero and still kill my 1/3. Oh, that's really bad for me. Okay, Daring Wave Rider it is. I mean, I could also go Pond Prophet and level up and get bigger creatures. That actually sounds kind of good. I'm not going to be attacking, I don't think, with the Overprotect. Oh, well, that's really bad. That is really bad. All right, so let's do this and make a really big fish, I guess. Maybe don't play the land here. All right, double up on the fish. Now, do I save it for blocks when they could always just target with Heartfire Hero? I think I probably want to. I don't know, double blocking Heartfire Hero sounds really bad. But yeah, I kind of wanted the information about whether they're looking at removal, to be quite honest. Oh my goodness. Well, I really needed to not hit a land pocket. That's for sure. All right. I will grab an overprotect. I'll overprotect my little fishy. They could remove my fish if they wanted to. Let's play an island just to spook them. And then, do I put the counters on the fish? Maybe put the counters on the pawn profit. Kind of like that idea. Spread the love a little bit. Technically, I could have gone in for 8. But I think having more chunky creatures that can also defend and can attack next turn sounds good. All right, I will definitely double block that. I have no problem with that. That's exactly why I made the pawn profit bigger, so that if they have spot removal for Daring Wave Rider here, then I still kill their Cindering Cutthroat. All right, killing the bigger creature. If I draw, well, I don't have Splash Portal anymore, but... And I also don't have my Lily Splash Mentor. Oof, that's a lot of stuff. Oh, hey, that's a good one. All right, let's play this to just kind of play dead. Put some counters on the fishy and attack for... might as well just attack for 5. I don't want to look like I have something here. All right, in for 5. All right, maybe we can kill them with moose damage next turn. We shall see. All right, looks like they also kind of flooded out, so it'll happen. All right, GG, GG. Honestly, I don't really love my deck. Every other deck I've drafted on Bloomburrow Flashback has been more fun than this, but that's the curse of recording your drafts. I kind of want to put in something... I'm having a lot of issues with flyers. I kind of want to put in something like... Also the second Daring Wave Rider. Daring Wave Rider just seems so bad. I don't think I want another Mind Spiral. I could put in Long River's Pull, honestly. That might be better than the Daring Wave Rider here. I'm just worried it's a little bit too little too late because everyone's going to be faster than me. But I don't think that Barkform Harvester does it, because like that wouldn't even be killing the flyers that are causing me issues. Whereas if I'd had Long River's Pull, maybe I could have like countered the Castrol in the game that I lost. I also think maybe 2 Hidden Grottos is too much. Let's go for like 7, 7, and 2. Something like that seems better. Let's see how this works. Actually, maybe do I go like 8, 6, and 2? That actually might be better. I feel like not having islands or not having forests last game was so bad for me. All right, on to the next one. Okay, we have a counter. I mean, this hand is way too slow, but Dazzling Denial is kind of a 2-drop. I mean, I just don't think I can mulligan. Maybe I should have mulliganed this. Maybe I should have just mulliganed this, actually. But okay, we're gonna have Dazzling Denial soon enough. Rush Shield Rampager actually does make the hand better, because that's a nice card to play before Tree Guard Duo. Carrot Cake? Yeah, let's just counter Carrot Cake. That sounds about right. So they're screwed off of white mana right now. Okay, hi Rudy Tooty. A little bit too late, but that's okay. So maybe next turn I can actually, if they play a creature, I can Mind Spiral, stunning it, and draw 3. Oh, they didn't even play a creature. Okay. In that case, let's just go for... Actually, maybe I just go for Innkeeper's Talent, level it? Or do I just play a Rush Shield? Maybe I just play Rush Shield. That actually kind of makes sense. I kind of want to get on the board. They might have a counter spell, but I think they're just mana screwed. There's no flash creature that I have to worry about. So I can just go in for 1. And I don't think I'm gaining much by representing... Oh, I didn't think about Stoneheart Strike. That's actually true. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about Stoneheart Strike. Something about them not representing white mana. Maybe not even think about that. But okay, I'm glad that I played the 4/4. So that if they didn't hit their lands, then I could be, you know, assertive to the point that they feel that they don't really have a hope of recovering. So good game to the opponent. Good game to them. And on to the next one. By the way, if you do want to get better at drafting right along with me, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel here on YouTube. I do data deep dives, especially for new sets like Marvel Superheroes, which is coming out tomorrow. But my bread and butter is gameplay videos like this, where I try to, first of all, be crystal clear and instructional, describing all the decisions that I'm making and why I am making them, and also always maintain a positive improver's mindset. All right. So it looks like we have a hand. Don't mind it. Saver's looking horrible. Actually, it's kind of a horrible hand. I think I've got to mulligan this because I don't even have a swamp to play the Saver. So it looked kind of good, but actually on inspection, it was a bad hand. This hand looks pretty sweet though. Can I turn 4 Galewind Moose? Maybe I put back 1 Rudy Tooty, to be quite honest with you. I think that's probably for the best. All right, drop a Hidden Grotto, Surveil. Yeah, that's what I was talking about being punished if you don't start with a forest or an island. However, I'm definitely going to keep that guy on top because I'm just going to turn 2 Rudy Tooty anyways. Then we're going to land Lily Splash Mentor, and then if we can draw one more land, the next turn on turn 4, we're going to have 5 mana, and we can play the Pawn Prophet and cycle it, or, you know, flicker it, which will let us draw an extra land. If they don't, or an extra card, it could be an extra land. If they don't do anything here, then I am going to have to play around Dazzling Denial by just running out my Pawn Prophet. Because I do not want Lily Splash Mentor to get countered here. Definitely not. That would be a very bad outcome. Okay, you don't have a bird, so I have the luxury of just playing this, and I am playing around your counterspell. And get a Rush Shield Rampager, and that's that on that. Bit of an underwhelming turn, but when your opponent is representing 1 and a blue in a set with quenches, you just got to be careful. Really don't want to get got. Next turn, though, I definitely will just play Rush Shield Rampager. And if they try to kill Pawn Prophet or anything, I'm just going to Overprotect it, no doubt. Overprotect is one of the best spells ever printed for saving creatures. Seriously, it just does it all. Oh, that's kind of painful. Oh, I wish I could get some lands here. Because if I had one more land, I could fight down their Water Spout Warden. But okay, let's just drop Rush Shield Rampager, I think. I'd really now rather play Lily Splash Mentor only when I have Overprotect up for it. But that is going to be a few more turns. I don't know, should I have kept 3-Tree Rootweaver and put back one of these cards? No way. All right, let's just play the Rush Shield Rampager, see what they've got for me. Very, very unfortunate to have to tap off of Overprotect and not be able to play my very strong cards. But you know what? That's Magic cards. Sometimes you don't have all of your mana. I like that their I like that their catchphrase or whatever here is just seasoned, as if they're a piece of turkey. It usually says like seasoned drafter or something, doesn't it? I'm not sure I've seen just seasoned. Okay, well, yeah, that's what happens when you have to tap down off of your hexproof trick. All right, if I can get a land, then I'm happy to just play Lily Splash Mentor and shoot it into Water Spout Warden. Right? I assume they're attacking. Yeah, that only makes sense. I'll take it. They're thinking about something. What are they thinking about? For 1 white, come and get it is the trick in white. Yeah. Okay. Just opened. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like hard to remember all the way back in the olden times. Yeah, I mean, you know, won a game when my opponent got mana screwed. Now losing a game when I get mana screwed. It's Magic cards. Can't be too furious about that. I just have to play it out at this point. If this guy survives, then I can flicker Pawn Prophet to give myself another chance to get a land and then hold up Overprotect for it. And I have multiple ways of blocking the Water Spout Warden. Like eventually I can flicker the 3-Tree Rootweaver. And it's a 2/4. They have a removal spell. I mean, what can you do? I have multiple good threats. Like eventually, if they spend a lot of time here removing my Lily Splash Mentor. Oh, it's Mockingbird. Okay, I can Longstock Brawl that. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I can do that. That's really... that is really going to save me here. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is just a little bit too rich. Okay, so tap, tap, and tap to flicker Pawn Prophet. Because I'm not attacking with it either way. Draw a land. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, whatever. And then I fight this guy into that guy. But then I do not attack because it's going to have 4 damage on it. And I don't want that trade. All right. See what you got for me. At least now I can play Bellowing Crier to try to draw another land. And I have 3-Tree Rootweaver to get me another access to another mana. And I can flicker Pawn Prophet again if I want to. It's just a little unfortunate that I can't play my Overprotect. With one more land, I can also Mind Spiral. Like, suppose I just draw land off the top. My favorite thing to do might be just Mind Spiral. Freeze something down and draw 3, which should give me access to enough lands to play for days. Because at this point, we have 14 lands left out of 27 cards. It's more than a 1 in 2 chance of drawing a card every turn. Okay, Splash Slasher, but they are not able to Offspring it. So I actually don't think that matters very much to me. I think I actually do block down with Pawn Prophet here, because it's not like I have a trillion mana to be flickering it anyways. Okay, another non-land. Well, actually, at this point, I do wonder if I just play Rudy Tooty and hold up Dazzling Denial and Overprotect. I think that's got to be correct. Like, yeah, I can take a little bit of damage here. Yeah, I'm missing the opportunity to play a land this turn, but Rudy Tooty is kind of a land. I don't have great blocks. That's the downside of this line. But I think I could just take like one turn of damage just to set myself up to have a really great next turn, or next few turns. So whatever they're doing here, I disagree. It's either going to get Dazzling Denialed or Overprotected. Looks like they found something to take on Lily Splash Mentor. So this is if another creature entered, whatever the creature is. Oof. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Now they're playing around my counter. Well, that's smart of them. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't draw lands. So now they get to flicker Splash Lasher. I mean, that's so bad for me. This is just horrible for me. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely on the path to lose. Like, yeah, kudos to them. They did a good job by playing around Dazzling Denial. I guess maybe I should have factored in the fact that they could play around my counter. I should have factored that into my play last turn. Maybe I just should have played Bellowing Crier on the theory that if I hold up 2 mana, it's so obvious. But I don't know. I also think they could have just believed that I was mana screwed, which I am, and so consequently they will, and so me leaving up 2 mana could just be about me being mana screwed. That would also make sense. Long River Lurker is so bad for me because it also gives all their stuff ward. All right, you can make this decision quickly, I think. I don't think this is a complicated one. All right. I could have overprotected it, but I kind of want to save that. I mean, also, I kind of am imagining they might have saved their less important card to play now. They may not know that it's a counter, especially because I keep getting priority. It would be reasonable for them to think that it's a combat trick. What is this? Convoking something? They just moused over every single one of their creatures in turn and then did nothing. And I still cannot draw a land. I mean, I still simply cannot draw a land, no matter what I do. All right, so you have your own Dazzling Denial, but I can pay 2. So I'll just pay the 2 mana. You don't have a bird, do you? Oh, they were looking to see if any of their creatures was randomly a bird. That's funny. I'm gonna go with no. I would like to pay the 2. Not really understanding. Oh my goodness, it's still not a land? Well, I mean, this just destroys my entire plan. Like, now I'm tapped out. I don't have access to counters. I can't play Baker's Bane Duo. So I've drawn 16 cards, and 3 of them have been lands. One of them was not in my opener. This is after the mulligan, and I put a non-land back. Actually, we're all 3 in my opener. I guess I'll put back Junkblade Bruiser. I mean, Mind Spiral is looking way too slow, isn't it? Maybe I put back Mind Spiral. Or discard Mind Spiral. Yeah, I mean, now I've lost, right? Now it's kind of a formality. Them making me pay 2 for the Dazzling Denial, I guess, was kind of clever because it tapped me down off of being able to play Baker's Bane Duo, hold up Dazzling Denial, or hold up Overprotect. But like, if I had just drawn any one of the 14 lands out of 24 cards left in my deck, then that plan would not have worked, right? So it was a gamble with like a 40% chance of succeeding, but it did. Oh well. So Dowerport Mage is going to start going crazy. Okay, so they have something combat relevant here, but I'm just going to walk directly into it because I actually don't care very much if some of these creatures die. That's kind of just the way that it is. I guess I could have double blocked Splash Lasher instead, but I'm sure whatever it is combat relevant, so you can Sonar Strike something. That's okay. Go ahead. All right. They're thinking really hard about which one to Sonar Strike, but whichever one you do, the other one's going to die, so... Oh, maybe they're thinking I might have Shore Up. Then what you should do is... It doesn't matter because I'll just shore up whichever one I want to live. So it actually doesn't matter either. Okay. Sure. You do that. Okay, there's a land. Thank you. Okay, now what do we do? Now how do we win? Well, they're tapped out, so I can Galewind Moose. I think I just hold up. So the options are play Baker's Bane Duo, hold up Overprotect and Dazzling Denial, or hold up Galewind Moose. I think having the food sounds really good, and Overprotect and Dazzling Denial are gonna get me enough equity to save my Lily Splash Mentor, and I can do all the blocks that I need to do. That's what I think here. So I think this is the better line. I mean, ideally, I'd like to just draw 2 more lands. Also, by the way, I can start flickering the Baker's Bane Duo and making extra foods. That would be good. Okay, good. So they might bounce their Splash Lasher and play it straight into Dazzling Denial. That would be nice. That would be very nice. This is really bad for them if they don't recast the Splash Lasher. But I have a counter, so it's really bad for them if they do recast the Splash Lasher. So one of the cards that they drew was a land. Okay, we can Dazzling Denial this card. All right, goodbye Splash Lasher. That was helpful. I assume they don't have an attack. And then at the end of the turn, this is the end of the turn, right? I will crack the food. Okay, all right. I don't know, are we back in this game? Maybe. They get to draw a bunch of cards though. Like for example, maybe I just gave them an out because now they can bounce Long River Lurker, play it, do things with the Water Spout Warden. So I actually wonder if I go, like I could flicker Baker's Bane Duo. Am I that desperate? Probably not. I think I can attack with Lily Splash Mentor and Baker's Bane Duo to kind of put the heat on a little bit. One thing I could do is play Junk Blade Bruiser and hold up Overprotect. And then I get to attack with both Baker's Bane Duo and Lily Splash Mentor for 8 damage. The question is, if they just play a creature, like Dowerport Mage, recast a Long River Lurker, or suppose I just found another creature, they can crack in for 3 with the Water Spout Warden, but I think I can gain 3 every turn, so I actually don't think that matters too much to me. I don't know, I kind of like the idea of just moosing it, though. So let's go in with the Mentor. Just the Mentor. So they might just try to make their guy unblockable by bouncing Long River Lurker and recasting it. But in that case, next turn, I can flicker Baker's Bane Duo. You should not double block unless you have Crumb and Get It. Yeah, I didn't think that they would double block. So now what they can do is, suppose that they bounce the Long River Lurker for 2, then 1, 2, 3 to recast it. They have Dazzling Denial. That would get me into some trouble. And that would super punish me for not just laying out Junk Blade Bruiser here. But the Bruiser is not killing in like 2 turns. Is the Bruiser that much worse than the Moose on this board is a question. When they might just give their creature unblockable. I think it's pretty good because Galewind Moose plus a Lily Splash Mentor plus Overprotect is lethal. Or just the 3 creatures. Night Fisher, you say. That's kind of annoying when a bunch of my stuff does not have trample. That is kind of unfortunate for me, right? Let's see if they're going to bounce something. I think they might bounce their Long River Lurker, which would be good because it would mean that they didn't top deck Dazzling Denial. But no way am I playing around Dazzling Denial, given that they're in top deck mode now. Okay, yeah, there you have it. So I could hold the Moose, actually. I could hold back on the Moose to try to eat that Night Fisher on defense, but I think I'd rather just eat the Night Fisher on offense. Night Fisher was not very good in this format because it's understated and requires you to have a bunch of birds to back it up. It's a nice engine, but it's really slow. And I'm hoping that we're about to see why that is. About to see that truth in action. All right, so let's land the Moose. Moose comes down. You can bounce a creature in response, but I'm guessing you don't want to. And then I'm just going to play the Bruiser and just attack with everyone, right? I'm pretty sure. Does that open me to just dying on the crackback? Potentially. Well, the Moose has Vigilance, though, so I don't think so. Yeah, I'm sure I'm just supposed to attack with everything. One question is, do I flicker the Baker's Bane Duo instead of playing Junk Blade Bruiser? Maybe I just attack with the Moose and the Mentor. If they don't block with anything, I have Overprotect for lethal. If they do block, I have Overprotect to kill their lethal opportunities. I mean, one line would be I just attack with everything. That would go bad, though, if they, like, triple block Lily Splash Mentor 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I guess I could play... Is that what a real gamer would do? Play Junkblade Bruiser, attack with everything. They have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 toughness. I have 6 in trample. Yeah, nowhere near enough to, like, also kill them. So if they just line up a big block, it could be bad for me. Would a real gamer just attack with everything here? I think what I do is play the land, attack with just Lily Splash Mentor and Galewind Moose, keep my options open, and depending on like how they block, what I think they're tempted to do, mark my words, they're gonna block the Lily Splash Mentor, and then they are going to bounce the creature that blocked it. And then after that is finalized, I can give Lily Splash Mentor trample for exactly 14 damage, which is lethal, right? Because of Overprotect. So if they don't know that I have a trample trick, what looks like their optimal play could get them killed here. If they just don't block with anything, they're also dead. And if they block with a bunch of stuff, then I think I'm just looking great. And if I'm worried about my health, then I can just like flicker Baker's Bane Duo a few times. Yeah, remember when I said it was just a formality and I was like completely cooked? I might have been letting myself get a little bit down, more down than I should have about my mana screw. This is why Rudy Tooty is the greatest in a format with so much variance and so little synergy. Rudy Tooty just, you know, protects you from mana screw. Also, I guess my math was slightly off because I'm on 16 lands. So I actually did make it slightly less likely that I would draw land in situations like this. All right, so they've lined up a block on the Waterspout Warden. Oh, okay then. Okay, so they're not just gonna put themselves dead. All right. They're not just putting themselves straight up dead to a trample trick. So we will just kill these is all that we'll do. And then I am going to do the, I'm going to do the very conservative thing here. Just flicker Baker's Bane Duo to make a food. And then I'll probably just do it again to get another food. I guess I could hold up popping the food and Overprotect. That's actually the safest thing to do. No reason to put myself dead to anything. This lets me pop the food and also Overprotect if I want to. I probably just should not tap down off of Overprotect for the rest of this game, right? All right, my turn. Ooh, Innkeeper's Talent. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Might as well just play that. And I can level it up once, and then, yeah, that's fine. Let's just... Oh, I guess I could play the Junkblade Bruiser. I don't think that's worth it. Let's just go to combat, put a counter on the Mentor, attack with both. Maybe I attack with all three now. Very unlikely. If they do just block the Baker's Bane Duo, then I think they're dead. I think so. Maybe this is a little clumsy. Because they do have a card that I don't know the identity of. Okay. So if I go for Overprotect here, and they would specifically need to have top decked a bounce spell. And I can just recast Lily Splash Mentor. So I think I just go for the kill here. So I get an extra expend damage, and then, yeah, I think this is good. All right, very good. Cool. Nice. GG. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Recovered from quite a stumble there. I do aspire to be positive-minded. Doesn't mean I never complain, but I try not to complain too much or get too discouraged. All right, 3-1. On to the next one. Rudy Tooty always saves me. I'm very concerned about this hand, though. Look, I can never play Long River's Pull, so I'm already basically down a card. Longstock Brawl is basically blank. with Rudy Tooty being the only thing that can do it. And if they kill my Rudy Tooty, I'm actually completely stuck off of blue. So maybe I'm down up to like 3 cards. So it's kind of like a 4-lander. You could think of this as like 4 lands with 3 off-color cards almost. This is an auto mulligan, in my opinion. Looked for a moment like Rudy Tooty was saving me, but it was not. Okay, I'll keep this. Do I put back the Wave Rider, perhaps? I kind of want to hit all of my lands. And Bellowing Crier will help me do some card selection. And the Wave Rider is so far off with no clear payoff. I think that that is the right one to put back. Okay, Bravekin Duo. So we're facing aggro, so we have to get really fast here in our game plan. Okay, it's not necessarily helping, but I will in a heartbeat trade off my Bellowing Crier for a Bravekin Duo, by the way. Oh, this is one of the best cards in the format. This is one of the best cards in the format. Insta trade. All right, Mentor could be worse, but having nothing on the board here facing down a Brightblade Stoat is extremely intimidating, to say the least. Oh, wow, draw a card to find your land. Okay, but they did not find the land, which helps me. And Junkblade Bruiser is a very nice draw. Did they get land number 3? It was looking really rough for me, and it's still pretty rough if they find land number 3. If they swing in with Brightblade Stoat, that means that they are packing a Sonar Strike in their hand. I will block because if I play Junkblade Bruiser and then they Sonar Strike me, then they'll still kill the Bruiser because this thing has First Strike. So, oh, it could also be Crumb and Get It. Yeah, so they could have gifted me a food to kill the... Oh no, they could not have killed Junkblade Bruiser with that. Okay, so I guess maybe that's a lesson. Okay, but now I'll play Junkblade Bruiser just to stay on the board. Then next turn I'll Mind Spiral, and I probably will stun the Stoat when I Mind Spiral. Okay, War Squeak making my guy unable to block. I mean, I've maintained a pretty high life total. So this is scary, but not the most incredibly scary thing ever. Oh, Longstock Brawl is a pretty nice one. So do I Mind Spiral hoping to draw a forest? That is an interesting question. I do not think that the odds are with me on that one. Let's not do that. I don't want to get risky with it. I think I'm ahead here enough that that's just not how I want to play this. I can still do a pretty mana efficient thing by playing Rudy Tooty and Longstock Brawl. I really also did not want them to untap. They're at 30, my goodness. I did not want them to untap and have untapped lands when I did that. I don't know exactly what could go wrong, but I'm sure there's something. Oh, Bravekin Duo is going to let them start pilfering. So actually, maybe I just stun the Bravekin Duo here with Mind Spiral. That could actually be correct. Okay, let's... I know this is a little bit weird, but let's actually... Do I do the mana fixing first or mana thinning? So the advantages of playing this first, I'm just pulling up a picture of my deck on the side, because the advantages of playing Fabled Passage first is that I'm less likely to draw lands off of Mind Spiral, but very, very, very marginally less likely. The advantage is, the disadvantage is, what if I draw something that requires very specific pips to cast? I think the only thing would be Long River's Pull, because I'm going to have a Rudy Tooty untapped. Right? So I think the only thing is if I get Long River's Pull off of this. So I think getting the island first is actually the best of both worlds. And then I think I do just give them the fish to see if I can keep them off of pilfering here. I think it's probably worth it. So you can have a fish in exchange for not getting to pilfer. Okay, and then I get to hold up Dazzling Denial. That sounds not bad at all. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to play Rudy Tooty. Very bad Mind Spiral, by the way. My deck is full of gas, and that's what I draw. Okay, so I'm going to let you pilfer first. You're going to make my... You're going to try to make Rudy Tooty unable to block. Do I just counter this? If I tap this, Rudy Tooty can't block anyways. But I don't think I really want that thing getting +1 anyways. I mean, if they play a land and then play a good creature here, then I'm in trouble. But that would require them to have gotten exactly the right mana to play a good creature, so... Shore Up is actually kind of good, I think. Go ahead and play this. I don't want to look too obvious, so let's attack with Junkblade Bruiser. I think it's kind of good because they might just target Whisker. They might really stack up their Whisker Quill Scribe here to get some attacks in. Dang, it actually looks kind of bad that I put back the 4/4, right? Oh, Patchwork Banner. Yeah, okay, maybe I made a bad play. Maybe countering War Squeak was wrong, and I should have just taken the damage there. But okay, here I get to kill Whisker Quill Scribe. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, this looks like a really bad attack, actually, right? I mean, they didn't know that I would have Shore Up. I just mean, like, an attack with bad consequences for them. I'm not saying they made the bad decision or something. So I think I'd rather have the Moose as a surprise than get the extra 2 damage off of the expend here. I think the surprise really matters. Because I think they're just going to attack again, personally. Oh yeah, especially with Bramblebard Captain. Bramblebard Captain. Yeah, you would want to put it on the Heartfire hero to make my health suffer as much as possible when it dies. Oh, maybe they're thinking about spreading out the damage. That actually kind of makes sense. Okay. Oh, you could actually trade with the Moose. Oh, that's pretty bad for me. That's pretty bad for me. I'm going to take 7 damage. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, you don't have trample, so I think let's just block with Rudy Tooty. I think let's just chump with a Rudy Tooty. Because then next turn, I can chump with a Rudy Tooty and kill their Brambleguard Captain, probably. And then just not take a chilling damage. Wow, my draws have been so blank. Holy smokes. Wow, I really just have drawn empty, empty, empty. Okay, well, I mean, Galewind Moose is a very live draw, obviously. Now, do I attack with the Junkblade Bruiser? I kind of want to play dead again, actually. I guess attacking with Junkblade Bruiser doesn't make that big a difference in their clock. I think I just want to play dead, to be quite honest with you. Because I think they're going to run the same exact plan as before. Would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much +1. I don't think that this is a big deal. So Mouse, so it does affect like all of their creatures. Okay. They're going to put it on Heartfire Hero again. You know what? It was actually a bad mistake to hold back the Junkblade Bruiser. That was actually a big blunder. That was actually a big, big blunder. Because they're not going to attack with the Brambleguard Captain. So do I just play Galewind Moose? Because no way will they believe me just swinging in with a Junkblade Bruiser, right? So I think I actually just play it, but I think not playing it last turn was a huge mistake by me. A huge mistake by me. Okay, but this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. So now I can swing in for 15. Hopefully just killing Brambleguard Captain on this one. Whoa, they go to 1 HP? Interesting. I guess they just figure they're killing me or I'm killing them. Quake Tusk Boar. Okay. All right, I'm just going to chump the Heartfire hero. I don't think you get there, do you? Do you? Do they get there? So basically, like, they're going to deal... Okay, so the board does not... Okay, we actually need to, like, count. I think I'm winning, but I need to count. So this thing is not going to deal its damage to me. This is just chumping it. This thing is going to deal... when it deals damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much +1 instead. So this thing is going to deal 4 to Junkblade Bruiser. It will survive, so that can be a lethal counterattack. So I have enough left to do a lethal counterattack, right? Deals that much +1. This is not a lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon, so actually this one will survive too. I'll take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll take 8 going to 2. Is there any way that they... Maybe they haven't played a land this turn. Is there any way that they can play a land? I think maybe they actually have played a land this turn. But would I want to block... Well, this is the maximum damage that I can get rid of, right? Guard. So I could also kill... Yeah, this is just the maximum. Okay, all right. Oh, those are the blocks. Pretty comfortable with them. Go to 2. All right. I am brave enough to attack with Galewind Moose, and that's going to be the game. Well, hey. Happy that I got there. Yeah. I really thought I was cooked. But my deck delivered just enough action. I think I definitely made a very real mistake by not playing... By not... like, not attacking with the Junkblade Bruiser. The thing is, I didn't attack with Junkblade Bruiser because I thought I didn't want to tell them that I have something. But the thing is, if I don't attack with the Junkblade Bruiser... I don't even need to have something for them to play it conservatively, right? That just already gives them enough reason to not attack me, to not overextend, right? Okay. I think maybe they should have blocked with more. The turn when they went to 1, I was surprised. I don't know if I have the right, maybe I don't have the aggro, like taste for blood, and they were correct with whatever cards are in their deck that they should just set themselves up to deal as much damage to me, regardless of their own life total. But at the same time, that felt like it really put them in a bad spot because they were going to have to completely block the moose every turn. And if I had any trample trick, then they were just potentially dead. So, but yeah, good games. Really good tight game of Magic. This is what I love about Bloomburrow. And I hope I'm giving a nice demonstration, even though this is really not even close to the best deck that I've drafted in Bloomburrow, not just ever. I mean, like literally the last deck I drafted was way better. The deck before that was way better. Like I did 3 drafts the other day. 2 of the 3 were better than this deck. 1 was terrible. And so I hope I'm giving a nice demonstration of how, if you're playing around in the Simic Sultai kind of space, we actually haven't drawn our saver, have we? Then you can really get a lot done. Youch. Against even the highly aggressive decks. I mean, that was an auto mulligan. Here I'm just going to put back a forest, and this hand looks fine. So potentially punished if we draw a pawn profit. I don't think I even want the island here, to be honest. I just want to draw gas. But I want to play 3 Tree Root Weaver turn 2 anyways. Turn 3, we can potentially go Baker's Bane to a Longstock Brawl if they play something scary. All right. All right, Rudy Tooty on 2. I would love to draw like Lily Splash Mentor or something, or a Pawn Prophet would be amazing to go Baker's Bane to a Pawn Prophet double spell. That would be cool. There was definitely another Frogs drafter at my table. One of the robots was on Frogs. I'm confident. Lily Splash Mentor, there he is. Now, do we actually run him out? I think so. I don't really want to play super scared here. There is Agate Assault, which punishes us. That would really punish us if they have Agate Assault on turn 3. But I think that's the main card in the format that punishes me. Yeah, and if they don't have it, then it was just so good to play the Mentor, I believe. So let's go Tree Guard Duo Longstock Brawl, probably. That sounds good. So in that case, I want to play this first, crack it, and go find an island. Because we still technically don't have an island. Play the Tree Guard Duo. Buff the Mentor. Longstock Brawl the Mentor into the Tempest Angler. Well, I guess I actually don't need to do that yet. Give them an opportunity to just chump it with the Tempest Angler if that's what they want to do. Nice. Okay. All right. I'm actually a little scared by that, but I'm going to do this. No need for a counter. I guess I could have shot Tree Guard Duo into it, but all right. Yeah. All right. And now I'm going to be flickering Tree Guard Duo and buffing my stuff. So I can go like Baker's Bane Duo, flicker the Tree Guard Duo to give something +4, which is 1 more damage than the Tree Guard Duo can do by attacking. And then it gets a counter, and then everything scales from there. Sugarcoat. No! Why do you do it to me? Why would you do that to me? That's so rude of you. All right, well, Bellowing Crier. See if we can get something better than Baker's Bane Duo. Mind Spiral. Yeah, that's better. Sorry, Baker's Bane Duo, but that's a pretty good one. All right, in with both. Wow, they're still at 16. Yeah, because they chumped the 7 damage, which makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense in retrospect. I can totally see why they did that. Maybe now they're going to Mind Spiral. That would be funny. What is there to be afraid of here? There's like the thing that doubles all of your otters. I guess their game plan just has to be like Tempest Angler. Maybe they have like a Dazzling Denial up now. That would be pretty annoying. But they haven't been playing like they have a counter spell. At no point were they holding up mana. I still don't think I'm going to run out Mind Spiral into this, though. Because I could have just drawn the counter spell, right? I'll definitely gain the 2. I don't have the... there's the 3 mana, Licky Tongue Sentinel or whatever. I do not attack with Bellowing Crier because they could always just get an extra counter by playing whatever random thing. Oh? What have they got? Bounce Spell? Deal 2 as an instant. Yeah, okay, gotcha. That's fine. That is just fine. Then let's go with this. Do I actually play the land first? I think that makes sense. Keep my Rudy Tooty untapped. I will draw 3. Yeah, there is the 3 mana bounce of permanent. Oh, this is better than the treasure because it's going to ramp me immediately. 3-mana bounce a permanent. Oh, actually, I tapped off of Dazzling Denial. I didn't even think about that. That was so stupid. Oh, if they play a bomb here for like all 6, then I'm really punished. Okay, well, I wouldn't have been able to Dazzling Denial that, so I guess I can't feel too bad. But that was really dumb. I should not have tapped off my counter without thinking. My bad, everyone. Try to play good, clean games of Magic here, but sometimes things like that do happen. All right, I'll go ahead and play Mind Whisker, which is just an amazing card. And then do I even play Sunshower Druid on this board? Actually, it technically makes Mind Whisker able to block down the Lightshell Duo. Very risky thing to do, but like I could see that actually being useful. If they end up empty of cards in hand, then that could be nice, so that I don't have to worry about prowess. Anyways, I've been saying, there's that 3/3 for 3 when it enters return a permanent. That's part of why Sugarcoat is not very good, especially against the Frogs deck. It's not very good because a food is a big deal, and 3 mana is often trading down against the thing that you target with it. But also because like there's the 3/3 bounce a permanent, and I believe I could just bounce my Lily Splash Mentor and the Sugarcoat would fall off if I had that guy on entry of my 3/3 coming in. Okay, but if my Mind Whisker survives here, I'm feeling pretty good, I think, because surveilling every turn sounds pretty good. Having said that, I am playing against a deck that probably has a lot of card selection and card advantage. Okay, I'll take a Junkblade Bruiser, sure. That's a nice one. Yeah, just land that. They could have Spellgyre, I guess, counter target spell, but that would be okay. That would just be a 1-for-1. And I feel like I'm ahead right now. Even without landing the Junkblade Bruiser, I would feel like I'm ahead. Eddie Mert Crab, oh, you can probably just get countered. Just counting their mana. Yeah, I would say that can just get countered. Do I think I can attack with Mind Whisker? What is the red trick again? Okay, there is Might of the Meek. Do I think that they're playing Might of the Meek and that is the card in their hand? By the way, if you're ever wondering what tricks your opponents might have in Bloomburrow, I made a YouTube short about this where I list every trick that they could play for 1 mana of a given color. Okay, so do I want to play around the Might of the Meek Blowout? They would hit their Lightshell Duo. It would just be a 1-for-1 at the end of the day. I do not think I'm playing around Might of the Meek here. I'm going to go in. Yeah, so that YouTube short will tell you what? Okay, yeah. That YouTube short will tell you what cards your opponent might have when they have 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, or 1 green. And Might of the Meek is the red one. All right, what have you got for me? Pawn Prophet, amazing card. Love that card. Respect to anyone who's running a Pawn Prophet. Unfortunately for them, this does tap them down off of Otterball Antics. Okay, Otter, you are an Otter. Lizard, Mouse, Otter, or Raccoon. So it's Lightshell Duo and Valley Flamecaller. This basically undoes the Mind Whisker on those 2 cards. Do I want to spend time drawing Dazzling Denial? Well, one of the cards that they could play is Otterball Antics. I don't have a bird. I mean, this could be like the game-losing decision, actually. I think let's draw it. I think a lot of what they could play here is pretty expensive. And I'm going to attack with the Bruiser, actually. Right? Because if I can trade down... If I can trade for Lightshell Duo, I'm feeling a lot better. Right? I actually think maybe not. I think maybe I can't really press this attack. I'm surveilling and I have a counter in my hand. I get to surveil every turn and I have a counter spell in my hand. So feels like it's not so... And also the moment that I draw anything that costs 4, I can expend and crash in for 6. Although I'm still then only trading for one of these creatures because they both deal an extra damage. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Feels like I'm okay waiting, though. Although I'm sure that my opponent also has a deck that's very good in the late game, judging by all the cards that they're playing. I wonder what this is. Another Sugar Rush, maybe? Oh, Conduct Electricity. Wow. Am I ever glad that I put this Dazzling Denial on top? That makes me happy. Yeah. All right. That was good. All right. Now with Mind Whisker, I really want to find an expensive card. Okay. All right. We got there. Yeah, probably feels a little hopeless to be playing against the Mind Whisker. All right, pretty happy with that. I love Bloomburrow. What a great set. I don't even think that my deck is that good, but I just think being in this space is so good. Like the Simic Splashy space is so good in Quick Draft. If you know how to pack your deck with enough interaction and 2-drops that you can stay alive against the highly aggressive decks, which is most of the field. All right, so we've managed to crawl our way. I think when it said I was like number 500 something, oh, this is painful. I think I keep it because I have Long Reverse Pull as a counter. They are on the play though, which is really bad for me. And I did not put a swamp in my deck to find Saver. Anyways, we've pulled our way back up to the about the level I was when it was glitching. I think this hand is too slow. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to get to play Head of the Homestead. I think this hand is too slow. I'm mulliganing every game, which is actually not normal for this deck. I think this is going to sound so weird. I might actually put back Pawn Prophet here. I really like Rudy Tooty on 2. Maybe I put back the Mind Whisker because the Lily Splash Mentor plus Pawn Prophet is so nice. But actually, that's more of a late game thing. I guess I could also put back a land on the theory that I go... Yeah, no, I don't think I put back a land. Yeah, the thing is, like, Lily Splash Mentor plus Pawn Prophet is way more of a late game thing. Okay, here I will go for a forest. Actually, maybe an island. Maybe an island. Because if I draw Long Reverse Pull, I'd like to have that option. Although I'm not going to hold up 2 anyways. I have almost equal need for the different pips. Let's just go for an island. I do have a 2 blue spell in my deck. But if I draw Long Reverse Pull, you know what? I'm still going to play Rudy Tooty, probably. Definitely. Because that gives me the option of turn 3 Baker's Bane Duo. Whatever you get with your counter is probably better as the game goes on. There's actually a peak. This is kind of interesting control theory. There's kind of a peak at like turn 7, 8, 9, where whatever you get to counter is whatever they've just had sitting in their hand until they could draw like their 6th land. And that's probably when your counter is at its best. Then it declines when they start going into top deck mode, and then your counter is going to be worse on average on turn like 14. So ideally you want to be saving your counters for like the last few cards in their opening hand. That's probably, or cards that have been sitting in their hand for like 3+ turns. That's the ideal kind of thing that you want to counter. And I think that's true. I mean, I basically only play draft, but I think that's true in pretty much any Magic format. Obviously not going to block that. I don't really know what it is, but it could be Overprotect, Crumb and Get It, you know, not interested. There could be a Longstock Brawl coming down. Oh, Saver is a nice one, don't you think? Finally, I see my Saver, and it's looking awesome. I think I'm just going to immediately Saver the Root Weaver and play my Baker's Bane Duo. So, oh no, it's -2/-2. Oh, why did I do that? My bad. Haven't played with this set in a while, and I was thinking of there was -3/-3 in some other format. Okay, that was obviously stupid. My bad. And now my opponent is like trying to figure out why I did that. Nope, just misplayed. Should have hit the Warren Elder, obviously, not the 3-tree Root Weaver. I was thinking of -3/-3 from a different set. Okay, my bad. That was obviously not what I was supposed to do. But you know what? Mistakes happen. All right, take the 3. Oh, man. Not that I can complain about anything this game, but this was not really the moment to miss a land. But okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Mind Whisker for 3. Cast the Longstock Brawl, gifting them a tapped fish. Target Baker's Bane Duo. And shoot it into the Pileated Provisioner. On cast, I get a Expend trigger. Bring it up to a 3/3. It hits the 3/4. And I'm just trying to reestablish to my opponent that I do actually know the rules of Magic. And then I think I do attack. Holding back would have actually had some nice components to it. But the thing is, Threat of Activation on Warren Elder makes it really hard to block. The one time that I drew my Saver, I had forgotten what it did because I hadn't looked at it in 4 games, and I probably haven't cast a Saver in a month if I even played it on flashback, so maybe it's been like a year. But yeah, definitely should have double checked what the card did. I spend my gems, so you don't have to. All right, what have you got? I would love it if Mind Whisker gets to live through the turn. That would be amazing. Obvious no block. Take the damage. I'll go ahead and take that damage. No blocks, take the damage. They're thinking really hard about activating, which I guess I like. I like that it's a question for them. I wonder what set I was thinking of that has the 2 mana -3/-3. Okay, so I actually kind of like that. A 3/4 sounds pretty good here, right? A land would be nice, but it's not like the land lets me pop my food anyways. So, okay, yeah, I'll play a 3/4. And then we'll do some double blocking. I mean, it might be better to put down the Rush Shield Rampager just to have extra stats. But I kind of like the idea of cracking in for 8 and just making them wonder. One thing about Bloomburrow is if you can kind of take back the mantle, and by the way, I'm not going to be blocking with Mind Whisker, I don't think. Actually, I think I do represent the opportunity of blocking with Mind Whisker. One thing about Bloomburrow is if you can take back the mantle, like, games are so swingy. Oh, what do you have? Games are so swingy that you can sometimes just suddenly be threatening lethal when the other person really seemed like they were the beatdown. That's definitely something I like a lot about Bloomburrow, is it really makes you have to understand who is ahead and beating down in any given moment. So if they attack, I'll probably just double block Warren Elder, offer to take the rest of it. Or maybe I put Mind Whisker in front of the 1/1 to try to get them to pump. Because Mind Whisker is good, but it's not like my whole game plan or anything. Then again, Mind Whisker is an extra 3 damage. Is there any merit to, if they attack with everything, just put Tree Guard Duo in front of the Warren Elder, the 3/3 in front of the 1/1, make them have to pump. So basically, I put together a block where they just have to pump, and if they pump, they're actually dead, or almost dead. Because suppose I just put Baker's Bane Duo in front of the 1/1. Yeah, actually, how about this? Yeah, well, okay, they could have, there's no 1 mana +3/+3. There's Come and Get It, but that's not +3/+3. So I think my blocks are like this. And now suppose that they pump. Then they get 4 damage in. I guess they could play a land and a creature. But then I have multiple foods, so I'm not so sad that I went down to 3 as a result of that. And I'm still killing a creature from this. Oh, you have Rabbit Response. You know what? I kind of forgot to play around Rabbit Response. Okay, I'm playing this game very badly. So I should have blocked the other way so that my 3/3 would die either way, and this thing would not die, so. 1 green? No, I think this is just Rabbit Response. I didn't catch if they put that on the top or the bottom. Okay, High Stride, yeah. Okay. Well, if you have Rabbit Response and High Stride, then yeah, not much I can do about that. That obviously has to go into the bin. I cannot crack a food in. Okay, horrible. I'm actually dead, right? No, not quite, because I can block with Rudy Tooty, block with Mind Whisker, and crack both foods, but I'm very close to dead. Yeah, probably shouldn't have thrown away the Saver. I could have killed the Warren Elder and won this game very likely. So, oh, cautionary tale. Okay, but that's my only out, right? Chump the Warren Elder, block the 1/1, and crack both foods going to 8. Banishing Light. I guess I can gift a card to not die. Yeah, my bad not killing that Warren Elder. That would have been a good idea. No, completely gave this game away, but that's okay. These things happen. Oh, that put Mind Whisker up to, Actually, that's kind of good. I actually didn't even think about that. Continuing with the theme of me playing very badly in this game, I actually didn't even think about the fact that that gets me up to 7 cards in the graveyard, so that now Mind Whisker is active. Maybe I'm not such a fool after all. Feather of Flight. Youch. Okay, well, I do have a reach creature to play. They get to draw a card off of that. That's pretty bad for me. All right. Well, let's sacrifice the food before damage, please. All right, go up to 5, take 3, go to 2. Sunshower Druid with the remaining mana. Wow. Gain a life. You can put a counter on the Warren Elder. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Now it can kill my Lily Splash Mentor. Oh. Well, it can trade with Lily Splash Mentor if you don't put it on there. Okay. All right. Oh, Sunshower Druid for me too. Wow. Just cannot get a land, huh? Yeah, would have been nice to be able to play that, but... All right, there's a land. A little bit too little too late, but all right. Well, there's no point in holding back Mind Whisker, so going with that guy. They can't exactly kill it. And yeah, if they have any removal, then I die to the Warren Elder. So they can also kill me by attacking... So if they don't have removal, I block the Warren Elder and I block the Fishy. They pump everything by 1 and I take 1 damage because Sunshower Druid goes to 0. So if they do that, I'm feeling not worse than I'm feeling right now. I'm assuming that we're going to get a trade here, unless they did top deck a removal. I think Banishing Light was their first removal spell that they saw. I don't think they were holding on to multiple removal spells, but maybe they were. And they also could have just top decked one. Tree Guard Duo. That's going to be game, right? If you put that on any creature on the ground, it doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously game, but I'll play it out. Oh, I could have just killed the Warren Elder on turn 3 and won the game. Very likely, so this one's definitely on me. Oh, wow. I also did not have the best situation with mana, because, like, for example, if I had drawn one more land in the course of the game, obviously other things would have been different, but, like, I don't know, if this Sunshower Druid had been a land, then I could play the Longstalk Brawl and kill their Warren Elder now. So I have to put this in the graveyard because I can't afford to cast it. Okay, so with a land, what can I do with that? I can play Rush Shield Rampager. They can pump their team, and I actually think I still have blockers to not die. I'm pretty sure. Like, 3-tree Rootweaver blocks there. Mind Whisker. No, I'm actually dead on board. I'm actually dead on board if they find the line. They just... Actually, the line is very simple. Attack with everything, pump Warren Elder, and I'm dead, right? So basically what's going to happen is I block there, I block there, and I block there. They pump. No, wait, I'm alive. Okay, they must have something else then. So block, block, and I have to block there or else I'm dead. And then I crack my food before damage. It's not true that they have to have something because none of their stuff is even dying here. But yeah, I do survive at 1 HP. Hold on. What's happening? What is happening? What is going on, my friends? You do not have Shore Up. What's happening? What is this? What is this? What's going on here? What is going on here in this game? I actually won that one. You know what? Never punished. Number 420. You don't get to number 420 by making good plays, folks. Right? Am I right? Is that right? Am I going to get in trouble with YouTube for saying that? All right. All right. On to the next one. Okay. All right. 6-1 by some unbelievable miracle. I want to issue a formal apology to my opponent. So what I did wrong in that game, didn't read my cards. Right? That was the thing that I did wrong, and I'll own that. What I did right in that game was establish the opportunity to turn the tables. The fact that I could become the beatdown suddenly on no notice was crucial to being able to seize the momentum when they made an attack where I also thought I was dead. So I wonder if they actually miscounted exactly the same way as I did. We were both off by 1. I somehow thought they were going to sneak in an extra damage. So I think they and I both thought that was a lethal attack, but we were off by 1. And the arithmetic does get tricky when things have negative power, you're buffing your team, and I have a food also. Like, you have to actually like quadruple check, I think. But also, having said that, I had attacked aggressively in one particular turn, maybe a few times. Oh, not a good hand. I'm kind of inclined to keep because I have triple Rudy Tooty. I don't know. Maybe I'm just supposed to mulligan. Is this going to win, whatever, 40% of games or something? Probably not. I kind of just want to mull. I mean, I technically have a 1-drop, which is not that different from having a 2-drop. Okay, maybe I'll keep. I kind of talked myself into that. This is not that different from just having a 2-drop on the draw. Anyways, attacking pretty aggressively was absolutely essential to being able to crack back for lethal when I had the moment, right? So that is like a major, major, major thing about Bloomburrow. Triple black, so they do seem to be mana screwed, which makes me feel better about my keep. +1/+1 vigilance and reach, and you can equip. I'm not gonna block that. Like, I could shore up, but I wouldn't even kill the thing. Yeah, so I'll just take the damage. Well, this makes me feel worse about my keep. Definitely. All right, next, no attacks end. Oh, okay. But hey, next turn is really the turn when we're off to the races. Are they just straight up mono black? I wonder if this is actually a mono black deck. Like, you don't usually play short bow, but they do seem to be having trouble casting things, so I'm not betting that it's a mono black deck. Cindering Cutthroat is another card that you would put in a mono black deck though, right? When you're not seeing quite enough black cards. Okay, so now I'm definitely going to play the Rampager because I would way rather have Shore Up available to save my Lily Splash Mentor than hold this and just try to get an extra Offspring token, which is probably not important. They probably do play out Swamp and play Exile Target Creature here. If you're playing mono black, you probably have a lot of the 5-mana Exile Target Creature. Wow, when I went 0-1, I did not think that I would be playing for a trophy with this deck when I lost my first game. Discard. Actually, let's just sack the So I kind of like Lily Splash Mentor with the Sunshower Druid out, actually. I kind of like that. But I want Mind Spiral, I want Lily Splash Mentor, and I really want the land. If they had a removal spell, would they have spent it this turn? So maybe I just pitch Shore Up. No, but Shore Up is going to eat an entire creature. Yeah, I think I'll just get rid of the Druid. Feels a little bit sad because I would have liked to start flickering that guy and gaining life and putting counters on everything. But that's like still a pretty slow game plan. And I do think Shore Up is going to be worth a card one way or another. Whether it's worth a card because I get to eat a creature when they attack, or it's worth a card because it eats a removal spell, one way or another, still getting a card. Maybe they are mana screwed. I don't know. They seem to be doing everything they seem to be doing something every turn. All right, I'll just block, I guess. Okay. I think it's safe to Shore Up here. I just judge that it's safe. Like, pure game sense, I don't really have a good argument for it. There are instances it will blow me out there, like Savor, for example, I think. Savor in response would turn into a 3/3. It wouldn't even blow me out. Still, I'm sure that there are removal spells that would have blown me out there, but just pure game sense, I did not think that they had that. So when Bonebind Orator dies, they will get to bring something back to their hand. I think I'm going to do Bellowing Crier, Flicker the Crier, rather than Mind Spiral, because it's kind of the same thing, but it adds to my board presence, and it trades with Daggerfang Duo. Ravine Raider, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to block. All right, let's pitch the Fabled Passage. Now I actually do not want to flicker Bellowing Crier, even though this makes it so obvious that I have a counter, or a counter spell or some combat trick. Because I otherwise, like, why wouldn't I tap my mana here? Exile target creature? Fell. That's annoying. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. Okay, well, I'm glad that I added to my board then. Yeah, so when Bonebind Orator dies, they can bring back their Thornblade Intimidator, and they'll probably be able to offspring it next turn. Kind of cool that they're playing a mono black deck, though. That's fun. Put that on Daggerfang Duo. Instantly, I will block that with Rush Shield Rampager. Zero doubt in my entire mind about that. They might just be doing this on defense, but I doubt it. They seem like a much more aggressive deck. Yeah, I kind of like when people do fun stuff in like Quick Draft where they start going like monocolor and whatever. Looks like they don't have anything that I need to be holding up Dazzling Denial for, so I'll probably just... Oh, okay, or I could just get an Innkeeper's Talent. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get Innkeeper's Talent. That sounds good. All right, put the counter on the Crier. I don't need to attack. So Ravine Raider can get pretty chunky, which is dangerous. Oh, they know that I have a counter spell. Or they were just holding this. Okay, yep. Well, I get hit with that, definitely. Now I'm definitely in the danger zone. Oh, I like that they made that attack. I would actually be much more afraid if they were just attacking with Ravine Raider. Yeah, snap block that guy. Definitely. All right, take 2. Yeah, my life total is in danger. Put it on the Harbinger, I assume. So I might just... Do I lock down the Harbinger? I probably lock down Ravine Raider, don't I? Do I even lock something down here? So they could also, they can bring back, they're going to bring back Thornblade Intimidator, so I don't need to hold up Dazzling Denial. Do I give you a 1/1 just to prevent 2 damage? I do not think so. So let's just draw 3. No need to lock something down. Head of the Homestead and a Bite spell is pretty nice. Or a Fight spell, I mean. Although this thing does have Death Touch, but I can kill Ravine Raider this way. I do need to find a reach creature at the end of all of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can play Head of the Homestead, but I cannot also Longstock Brawl and hold up Dazzling Denial, but I can put a counter on something and get some good double blocks in. Ravine Raider at maximum is going to be 1. So they have 5, 6, 7 mana up. So a 4/4, right? +3/+3, 3 times. Oh, or they could draw Swamp, so it could be 4 times. Okay, yeah, exactly. This is why I did not hold Dazzling Denial. I must hold Dazzling Denial next turn, though. And I am going to need to find an answer to the Moonstone Harbinger, or life gain, or suddenly start racing them incredibly effectively, which, you know, with Innkeeper's Talent is not out of the question. So this thing can become a 4/4. I definitely hold up Dazzling Denial. They'll probably understand that that's what I'm doing. So Ravine Raider can be a 4/4. If they draw a land, they can pump it 5, 6, 7, 8. Just double checking. They can pump it 4 times to make it a 5/5. I don't think they're going to be in a pumping frame of mind. I think they're just going to be running out Thornblade Intimidator. They might play around the counter, though. But if they play around the counter, how are they ever going to get to land the Thornblade Intimidator? They have to draw how many more cards to do that? How many more lands? I guess just 1 more after this. Well, okay, maybe they should just play around the counter. Or maybe they play it without offspringing it. That's very possible. That might be the, like, technically right thing to do. They probably should attack with Ravine Raider first because of the threat of activation. Then I'm just going to double block the Ravine Raider, and they can pump it 4 times, making it a 5/5. Just double checking. All the info is face up. So you can pump it 6, 7, 8. They can pump it 4 times, making it a 5/5 creature. Right? Yeah. Okay. I'll offer that trade. Okay. So they're going to go for it. Intelligently playing around my counterspell. Good for them. So now here's what I can do. Now I actually have a pretty nice move, I think. I don't actually care about Thornblade Intimidator that much. What I can do is I can go, let's see, Innkeeper's Talent, put 2 counters on this guy, then Longstock Brawl, put another counter and kill that thing. Innkeeper's Talent, move to combat, right? Put 2 counters on. Also, yeah, let's surveil, just so that I know what's coming up. Okay, well, now I guess I know what's not coming up. put 2 counters on the 1/1. No attacks. Do I Longstock Brawl, putting another counter on the 1/1 and kill it? Giving them a fish? I don't care about the fish, do I? I will take 1 damage from it next turn. Technically, they do seem to know that I have the counter, and if they draw a land, then Dazzling Denial is dead in my hand. Am I willing to just start taking 1 damage? Like, what if they land the Thornblade Intimidator, and then I have to discard both cards out of my hand? Yeah, this is looking really bad, actually. So maybe I just take the damage for 1 more turn from Moonstone Harbinger and don't give them the fish. Holding the Root Weaver means that I could pitch Root Weaver plus Dazzling Denial, though, but then I'm completely out of gas against a 4/3. So I would want to hold the Longstock Brawl. So here's the thinking. If they draw a land, then they can play the Thornblade Intimidator, and I cannot Dazzling Denial it. Then I discard 3-Tree Root Weaver and Dazzling Denial. Next turn, I get to Longstock Brawl, shooting down their flyer. But whatever I fight into it is still going to die at that stage. So, okay, I think I just have to do the... But the thing is, then I don't give them the fish. But I would be 2 HP lower anyways. I think I have to draw a creature no matter what. To survive this, so... I think that just makes more sense. And then I'm going to hold this. If they equip, that means that they're not playing around Dazzling Denial anymore. Oh, okay, they just ran it out into the Denial. I didn't know, part of why I did this also is I didn't know last turn if they were playing around Dazzling Denial or if they genuinely just thought that the Ravine Raider line would be better, which I'm not disputing at all. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, this also needs to not happen. Please, no more useless lands. Please, no more. That's enough. That's enough lands out of you, deck. I have 16 of them, right? Oh, Tense Magic. This is really interesting. I mean, I have a lot of good draws. I do feel like every time I play Mind Spiral... Okay, you choose a non-lane card. Okay, you get to play my island if you want. Interesting. Okay, that's fine. I did not remember about that card. They did not gift me a card. I would love to get a moose or something. Okay, yeah, they can bring back the Intimidator and recast it. That's an issue for me. Lose 3 life unless they discard a non-land permanent or discard a card. So I need to hold this for them discarding. So I can discard and lose 3 twice, probably, is the way to do it. Well, playing this does not reduce my options in any way. I feel like, yeah, I feel like I lose 3 and discard. Because the 3-Tree Root Weaver should save me more than 3 HP in the long run. Mind Whisker was a great draw, by the way. That really helps. So now I assume they're just going to play this with Offspring. I guess they didn't need to play around Dazzling Denial because of Mudflat Village. Yeah, okay. So I'll discard my island. I guess I should have held on to 1 more land. I should have seen that coming and held on to 1 more land. So yeah, I think I have to lose the 3 here, which is really painful. Really painful. I would love to draw like Baker's Bane Duo. That would be an awesome draw. The Moose would be an amazing draw. Oh, good mono black deck from the opponent. This is cool. It got way closer than I was hoping it would. Pawn Prophet. Now that is a heck of a draw. Slam that guy down. Oh no, not this again. All right. I mean, if they have removal for Thornblade Intimidator, for example, I am cooked. Absolutely cooked. How many lands do we even have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. So we have 5 lands. Sorry, 4 lands out of 14 cards. Oh, they can start putting things on the bottom? Yeah, interesting. No, they have removal for Mind Whisker, so I actually lose. Yeah, they found removal for Mind Whisker, and I just didn't find anything. Yeah, 2 creatures are going to get through. Well, let's make them make the attack, because they seem to be hesitating a little. Yeah. Are they going to do it? Okay. No, I mean, drawing like only blanks for the last few turns definitely was the seal of death. Too bad. I drew pretty nicely in some of the games. In this one, I drew very badly in the end there, where I could kind of only get lands. And that definitely is enough to cook me. I'm not sure what the options were for playing better. Mind Spiral just keeps drawing me into nothing, so it makes me feel like my deck is a little bit too full of air. But I feel like I had a lot of options. I guess it was just like the Harbinger. Was there a way to take less Harbinger damage? As soon as I started attacking with that 2/2 Menace, I knew that I was in trouble. So I was making choices to minimize the amount of damage that I was taking. I don't really think that there were many opportunities to take less damage, honestly. I think it just got me. Maybe somehow I was not supposed to let the 2/2 that like brings something back. Could I somehow not let that die? No, I can't keep this hand. Can't keep this hand either. Okay, well, it's a good run. I always get to 6 and 1 implausibly and then lose 2 and my rating goes down. Yeah, that's a mulligan. Multi 5. Well, can't win on a multi 5 probably, but I guess we can try with Sunshower Druid into Innkeeper's Talent, but I don't even have a forest. Probably put this back and put this back. I guess I could keep Head of the Homestead and just try to get lucky. Play Fabled Passage, basically a 2 mana plan. I guess I put the Dazzling Denial in instead of Head of the Homestead because I kind of have an army in a can. Oh, this is really terrible. I can't win off of a multi 5. I don't think. That's not really going to do it. Dang, we had such a good thing going. 6 and 3. That's so tantalizing. All right, well, I'll go ahead and play Bellowing Crier. I guess now I'm already looking for another land, so maybe putting the land back was a bad mistake. Could definitely be. Oh, that's too bad. Hey, we got into the top 500 this event, but then we got right back out of it. All right, well, terrible. Maybe I shouldn't put that land back. Should I put Dazzling Denial on the bottom instead of the land, maybe? That's very possible. Are you going to take Innkeeper's Talent or Bellowing Crier? Probably Innkeeper's Talent, right? Well, at least I get Rudy Tooty. I'll not be blocking with Bellowing Crier, so might as well attack. Didn't that person go to like 34 against me? With a Brightblade Stoat? That card is so bonkers. I won day 1 of an arena open with some Brightblade Stoats. All right. Pawn Prophet is a card, technically. Do I play it, or do I just play Sunshower Druid? I actually kind of want to be on my counter mana. I feel like having the optionality of counters is really good here. Maybe getting a second 1/3 is actually quite good. Can I get enough card advantage? Survive the onslaught. All right. So this thing, so I'm going to double block here and I'm going to block here. And they're going to try to resolve a Crumb and Get It. Maybe they have 2 Crumb and Get It's. Then Bellowing Crier will still trade. That sounds good. If they have 2 Crumb and Get It's, Bellowing Crier still trades. Sonar Strike. Oh, it's target creature. I kind of forgot about that. But this is still good for me. Yes, they get to kill my 3-tree Root Weaver, which is annoying. But I kill Roughshod Duo at least. Yeah, them killing Rudy Tooty is definitely unfortunate for me. Oh, Longstock Brawl. Hello there. The really funny thing to do would be to just try to draw a forest. I kind of need to get lucky to win this game, right? And I'm not in super dire straits. Well, Hidden Grotto is kind of close, I guess. Well, Hidden Grotto into forest is actually what I would have wanted, right? So we'll see if they represent another combat trick. It's not like I need that Sunshower Druid. They have a Quake Tusk Boar. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate for me. Just block that. They're attacking for the lifelink after all. Okay. Play a land and play Tree Guard Duo. Unfortunately, I don't have the mana needed to also now Longstock Brawl. That's just a thing about multi 5, right? That's just the thing about a mulligan to 5. I would really take my deck against this deck if I hadn't mulliganed. Because we're kind of going toe-to-toe with them, honestly. And this, like, kind of hyper red aggro is exactly what I build my deck to deal with. I don't think I have any action if they have a combat trick, so I think I actually do line up a triple block. If they attack with the boar. I think I just play right into whatever they have, because You know what? Okay, actually, them attacking with everything makes me feel like that's not what it is. Let's go like this. Let's just go for value, because this is probably an attack for damage. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I like this a lot. Oh, I wish I could play that Head of the Homestead. Okay, so I should not have risked. I guess, after all, I should not have risked my Rudy Tooty in combat. That card is too important. If I've taught you one thing today, I hope it's the importance of Rudy Tooty. I think I give them the fish here, just to get the extra counter. I think it's worth it because the difference between them having a fish and not having a fish here is Tree Guard Duo plus Pawn Prophet together can block the Quake Tusk Boar. Pawn Prophet survives. Sunshower Druid blocks the fish. And I take 2. If I don't give them the fish, I have to triple block the boar. And then I take 2 still, but it kills both Pawn Prophet and Tree Guard Duo. So maybe I don't do the fish. Hold on. Okay, I kind of ran out of time. I'm pretty sure that giving them the fish is better here. Because sooner or later I get to kill the fish with Sunshower Druid straight up. If I can just get a land and land Head of the Homestead, then I'm going to feel really good. Unless they top deck a combat trick, which they did not do. Remember, we're on a mulligan to 5 here. If I had my whole deck behind me, I would feel pretty good about this matchup. If they just get like a Feather of Flight, though, it's GG. Banishing Light. Yeah, that's really bad for me. I don't think it's game on its own, though. And in Agate Assault, you literally top deck 2 removal spells in a row. Okay, well, that's a way to win a game of Magic. Top decking 2 removal spells straight up in a row. Think I just line this up. I can always chump with Sunshower Druid later. Yeah, I mean, me mulliganing to 5 and them top decking 2 removal spells in a row, it's definitely what needed to happen for them to win. All right. What's my block look like? I'm probably not blocking with that 1/1. Maybe I'm not even blocking with Sunshower Druid, actually. Maybe I just gave up a damage. You know what? I actually think I don't block with the Sunshower Druid. I'm dead to Crumb and Get It, but what are the odds that they just top decked Crumb and Get It? Or Playful Shove also. Lily Splash Mentor, that's a nice one. Unfortunately, none of my stuff that I can flicker survives here. Let's play this, and then if they kill the Lily Splash Mentor, I need to have Baker's Bane Duo back to double block. Otherwise, I want to double block with Mentor plus Sunshower Druid. So this 1/1 is not blocking no matter what. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm holding on a lot better than I expected on my multi-5, right? Okay. All right. So now, oh, hello there. So I could... This is an interesting choice. I could flicker the Baker's Bane Duo to have a food to not be straight up dead. The other thing that I can do is lock down their Quake Tusk Boar. If they find a Playful Shove or a Feather of Flight, no, not even Feather of Flight, because I have a Reach creature. If they find a Playful Shove, I'm dead. If I do the Mind Spiral thing, I think it's just worth it for optionality. I actually straight up think it's worth it for optionality. Maybe I also wouldn't even need to give them the fish, to be quite honest. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Mind Whisker is a good one. I will play the land here. And then, do I just attack with, like, Baker's Bane? I want a spare blocker. So, because I don't want to be just dead to 2 removal spells. Which means 2 removal spells would mean... Yeah, I don't want to be dead to them having top decked 2 more removal spells, do I? So I think I actually don't even attack. It's playing, definitely starting to play chicken, but... Blacksmith's Talent, so this can give something double strike and haste. Yeah, that's an issue. Double strike is an issue, right? Yeah, okay, I think that actually just cooked me. Because this has trample, so now I have to deal with 10 double strike trample. Actually, 12 because of Bravekin Duo. So am I straight up dead here? Well, close to it. So I can go Root Weaver, Flicker the Baker's Bane duo. And actually, with the counter, do I have enough to block down Quake Tusk Boar? It's going to be 6 first strike damage, so it could kill Mentor plus a 1/1, and then take 3, 4, 5. I think it's... I could also play Mind Whisker to shrink what they have, but I think I actually need the food. I think I actually need the food, right? So the idea is Flicker Baker's Bane duo, get an extra food. They tap Bravekin duo to buff the boar. Crash in. I block it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures. They cannot kill everything, but their boar is not going to die. So I definitely lose here, right? Okay, new strategy. What if I... So I need to put 6... No, that actually, I just lost. That definitely cost me the game. No, I mean, you know, the fact that we stabilize so well on a multi 5, it's pretty sweet, right? So they're going to get to kill Lily Splash. I'm actually 1 power short. Isn't that so sad? Of surviving this onslaught. I'm actually 1 power short. So is there a way that I can line up a block where I soak up... Yeah, what if I just block with my 3 toughness creatures? And then what am I hoping to draw, though? They put it on the boar. I assume they would buff it with the Bravekin duo. Okay, so this guy has double strike, reach, trample, and haste. So if I block with everything, they're going to kill Lily Splash Mentor in a 1/1, and then it only takes 5. So I don't quite kill it, because I was 1 mana short of also playing Mind Whisker. So if I put 3 creatures in front of it that each have 3 toughness, and then what am I trying to draw? I guess the Moose is still 1 damage short. I think everything... I don't have the second Mind Spiral in my deck. Shore Up would not help here. What else do I have? Let's see. All right, so it's something like block, block, block. Junk Blade Bruiser, Galewind Moose, Daring Wave Rider. Still, even Daring Wave Rider wouldn't do it. Even Daring Wave Rider would not do it. That's so sad, because I'm 1 power short of flashing back Longstock Brawl. Oh, my Daring Wave Rider's in the graveyard anyways. My Spiral is gone. My Mind Spiral's gone. Rush Shield Rampager doesn't give me enough power. And you got a Seedglaive Mentor. Okay. Well, you know what? 6-3 is a pretty good result. I would take myself in a best of 3 match against that deck, because we mulliganed to 5 and we still managed to go absolutely toe-to-toe with them. And they still needed to have actively good draws to push them over the edge. So 6-3, basically, this was not the best version of this deck, but you see still, like, in the top 1,000 Mythic, it like is absolutely holding its own. It's basically, the idea is you just get as many copies of Rudy Tooty as you can, and then you just stack them together with, like, everything that goes after turn 3 that's highly impactful. My deck was a little bit too high on air. I would have liked to cut Long River Pull and maybe Shore Up and maybe a Dazzling Denial and just play some more, like, really strong 2-drops is really what I wanted. So, because we were fighting from a position of being behind every game. So that, but yeah, that's the deck. That's the idea. So have fun with it if you play Bloomburrow Quick Draft. All right. And tomorrow, Marvel Superheroes comes out. I'll probably do a little bit more Bloomburrow in the days to come for anyone who is not feeling Marvel. So until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.